Hi everyone. Mitch from PickDogs.com here with Chris, Jay, Jovan, Al, and Rod. It is Saturday, January 14th, 2023, here with your live show. It is NFL wildcard weekend. The NFL playoffs begin today. Someone's season will be over. Just like that. Played all those games, all the football. 60 minutes later, going home. And that is the way it works in the NFL. And usually a lot of surprises on in these opening couple rounds of the playoffs. And, this is where Vegas, I think, makes most of their money for the entire football season is in this weekend and next weekend. It seems to always work that way. Chris, how's it going? What wears blue and neon green and busts up your parlay? That would be the Minnesota Timberwolves. What provoked you to take the Timberwolves yesterday? I mean, we double laugh tracked you. I don't know. Has this team not ruined your life enough? I'm not really sure. I mean, they will ruin your life. They'll ruin your relationships. They'll ruin your self-confidence and every fiber of your being.
Yeah,
you don't get those top five. They don't just give those top 5 draft choices to anybody.
Yeah, I've already been broken down enough by the NBA this season, so I figured what's one more brick in the wall, and the Timberwolves looked good for much of that game, but then all of a sudden the fourth quarter started. They decided to fold like a cheap tent. So yeah, and it happens, but I still stand by it, but take our lumps. Thankfully, it only counts for one game.
Busted up your parlay, blew it up, man. Jay, how's it going?
It's going all right. Awful weird night yesterday in the NBA. Like you were saying earlier, lines in the NBA really tight right now. Got some NFL today though. Wild card weekend. I'm excited for it. Got some NBA today too, and some good college basketball cards. So today should be a good day. Ready to smash it per usual.
Well, you live in Texas. I think it's safe to say you're going to remember the Alamo Dome. Pretty well. I took the Spurs on my free pick too for my dog of the day. I had no idea the Warriors. It's like it was weird because it's like the Warriors away from home. You just figure they're going to stink it up, but then you got
worst road team in the NBA.
But the big stage, those are kind of like the big stage guys.
Exactly.
Like if LeBron was there, he'd score like 90. It's like
exactly.
It's like all of a sudden it's like he goes from doubtful to he's playing, and Anthony Davis comes up out on the court, and whatever. It's like that's basically what happens, and it's like Christmas, right? It's like all of a sudden everyone's off the IR. It's the way it works. Jovan, how's it going? Off to a good start to the year once again.
Yeah, but last night wasn't good. I got my head kicked in for some. Hey, listen, the NBA is the NBA. You could lose. It's gonna happen. But I thought I had Michigan State in the bag, and then in the second half they just collapsed. I checked the ticker. I wasn't watching the game. I checked the ticker. They were up by like 4 or 5. And then I drifted off to sleep. And I woke up. Yeah, they lost by like 11.
It was a weird finish to the game, how that happened. It was kind of like they just missed some shots on the inside and ones they would normally make. It was just, it happens. That's college hoops. I think that and the VCU game in college hoops where I felt really good about giving out my one pick, and it's like my one pick that I gave out, I had the Magic, and I'm kind of right there at the number the entire game. I mean, they are right at the number the whole game, inside, outside. It's like 5-7, 5-7, 5-7 back and forth. And then Markelle Fultz with like the flagrant 10 or something. It's like they just left the guy at the free throw line. They put Markkanen out there, and he just got to take free throws for like 45 minutes. It was like, I don't know what the hell happened, but I don't know, man. It was crazy. But I was glad to only have the one game, and I was also glad that Fultz took it personally and actually made a basket, which is something we haven't seen too much from him in his career. El Nino, speaking of not making too many baskets, how's it going?
Hey, I was always a pass first point guard, but I could get a fair share of those on my good nights. Going pretty good. How are you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing all right. Do you feel a little lonely without your Chubb touchdown prop for about 7 months that you don't get to use that thing?
I think we got a couple good ones today, though. So it should be a couple good battles, but I think we got a couple good candidates for some decent touchdown props today. So stay tuned.
Rod, how's it going?
It's going. Nice winning night last night. Swept the board. Can't complain. Back-to-back winning nights. Looking to keep it going today with today's loaded action. So I'm feeling good. I love today's card. Feeling great.
Awesome. Well, of course, you could always check out our leaderboards, yearly, daily, monthly, whatever, over at Pick Dogs. It's usually Jovan at the top. That's for sure. Or close to it. I still love the guy that sent me. I could take Jovan's place. What are you talking about? Anyways. We got NFL football, Chris. We got the 49ers and the Seahawks kicking things off, and then the Jags and the Chargers. It's like the NFL took the two most unattractive games on the board, stuck them out first, kind of like, it's kind of like the way I eat my dinner salad. I kind of eat everything first, and I save the croutons for last. It's like my wife's like, "Why did you save the croutons for last?" Because I don't know, because they're my favorite part. So I always leave them. It's like a bowl, and I got 5 croutons, and then I pick them up with my fingers, right? Because I don't even want to break them with the fork. They're too valuable. Well, this is the iceberg lettuce right here. These two games. What do you think?
Yeah, because these two probably got no flavor. They're just there. They're there for show. But the NFL definitely taking the getting it out of the way approach with this one. And for the first game, for the 49er game, I'm going to take the 49ers in the first half. The two meetings this season, it was all 49ers early on. The most recent meeting, I'm just trying to pull up the box score again. It was 14-3 at halftime for the 49ers. And the first meeting back in September, I think, was 20-0, or it was decent. 14-0, and it was just dominance from the 49ers in each of the first two games. So I'm going to stick with it here. We're only being asked to lay 5.5. I think the 49ers could take a one-score lead into the halftime break. So I like the first half 49ers laying the spread.
Jay, how about you?
I mean, for me, other than the Monday night game, this Chargers-Jags is probably my favorite game of the weekend. And I like the Jags in that one, man. I think I see the lines growing. We can get a 2.5 in this one, and I'll definitely grab the 2.5. I think this one is just a game that's going to come down right to the end. These are two teams, the Chargers. I think that 2.5 looms large. The Chargers are a team, they're going to mess around and go for 2 and miss it in this game. And we're going to get on an off number, and one team's going to win by 2. I can see this game going either way, but I definitely will take the points in my pocket with the home team. That I like the way the Jags have been playing here recently. Trevor Lawrence, man, he's starting to look like that guy we thought he was. And the Chargers, they just always seem to fall flat in these situations, man. So I like the Jags here in this one. I think they mess around and win this one on their home field and move on.
Jags have definitely been getting it done at home and in the dog roll. I just think for me, it's like, they're a team that hasn't been there before, and you got, one of the worst fumblers in the league there, and cannot turn the ball over in playoff football. So I don't have a premium play on that game because I kind of lean the Jags, but it's like I'm just I can't really rally behind a guy that can't hold on to the football.
You've been fading the Chargers all year. Fade them one more time.
I don't like either of those teams. I think they're two of the worst head coaches out there.
Yeah,
Jovan, what do you think of these games?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean 49ers in this one. what led me to not putting this down as a premium. Seattle last game they did get the back. I think they got the backdoor cover. It was an 8-point game, regardless. And this line is at 9.5. So I don't want to sit there, full game and fear the back door, coming. Statistically in the two previous games, San Fran thoroughly dominated. Did what they want, especially in the first half. So what Chris said is true. If you want to take them first half. But got to check on the weather with this one because there's rain and wind expected in this one. So that's also another reason why I couldn't touch this one as a premium play. That's the equalizer, and Seattle does have a running back that could if they want to, ground and pound. If the weather's bad enough, I don't know if either team gets real traction. So it's a lean towards the 49ers, but just a lean.
49ers defense number 2 in the NFL against the run, allowing less than 78 yards a game. Meanwhile, Seattle 30th against the run, allowing over 150 yards a game. Al Niños.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why this total is a little bit tricky. You mentioned the weather, but I think both teams can run the ball a little bit. McCaffrey, one of the best running backs in the league, and Austin Eckler, honestly, a pretty good running back himself. So I think we wow, I'm completely all over the place. Sorry, but I like the over in both games here. So I think yeah, in the Chargers Jacksonville game, of course, I think you're going to see more offense. But in the Seahawks Niners game, I think the Niners are able to run the ball effectively, and I think we can see a couple big plays from the Seahawks to help us get over this total that's set pretty low. So I like the overs, and as far as touchdown props are concerned, I do like Christian McCaffrey. I'm seeing him around minus 140. For the Niners, you could take a shot with George Kittle, but I do like the McCaffrey one better. I'm seeing plus 150. And the other game, Austin Eckler, probably using parlays. He's seeing minus 160 there, but yeah, tougher one on the touchdown props here. But maybe ATN is decently priced minus 125.
Al Niños is the Bimbo Coles of the sports handicapping world. He stands up on the bench and says, "Where am I? What am I doing here?" And it's like, remember that? That was like the craziest thing. You got Jay Price, like, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. Bimbo Coles played for Loyola Marymount. He was like one of Hank Gather's teammates, and he played for the Miami Heat. In the middle of the game, he stood up on the bench and he said, "Where am I? What am I doing here?" He didn't. It was just like he lost it.
That's crazy.
It was weird. It was so weird, man. It was weird. Al Niños does that every weekend, and we kind of just gloss over it. Rod.
For me, in these ones, I like the under between Seattle and the 49ers. So you look, both meetings this season went to the under. Seattle 4-0 to the under in their last 4. 3-1 to the other head-to-head in the last 4 meetings. I think with this rainy weather, both teams are going to run the ball and chew the clock, and I'm going to see a high-scoring shootout in this one. Give me the under, Seattle, San Francisco. And I lean to the under in the other one. It's a playoff game. I think both teams run the ball, chew the clock. And both defenses can battle with the Chargers and the Jags. So I like the under in that one, too. Give me the under in both games.
I'm going to take the Jags on the money line. I just think that for me, I just can see the Chargers missing an extra point or something and then leaving the door open. And those are the games the Jags have won all season. It's like those are the ones that they've won. And that's exactly how the Chargers have played. Piss poor coaching, stupid decisions, something that leaves the Jags 38 seconds that they weren't supposed to have because they didn't call the timeout, or they called the timeout, or the guy went out of bounds when he shouldn't have gone out of bounds. And if something happens like that, the Jags get an extra 38 seconds. They get it. And then Trevor Lawrence looks like, everyone's Labrador retriever after the game when they interview him, which is like the weirdest thing, right? The guy's like superstar, but he's always like, right? It's like, I mean, come on, man, right? Seriously. Jay's laughing because he knows it's true. He knows it's true. The hell's the matter with them? Anyways, I like the Jags. I got him like a Ruffalo style, like one of these. Got him one of those.
Yeah.
He's a happy dog.
Mitch has been breaking one of us every day for like the last week, finding a way to get it done.
Oh man!
All right, go to the NBA. Now every time he sees Trevor Lawrence, he's not gonna be able to hold it together. It's like they're interviewing him after the game. Here I am. Comes running over to the Coach Peterson comes over and pats him on the head. Good boy.
Gives him a cookie.
Been drinking out of the toilet again.
He's got his head in the Gatorade cooler through the top.
Got the Heat and the Bucks. These guys are playing again. Heat are 4-point favorites against the Milwaukee Bucks. Got the Charlotte Hornets against the Celtics. Got the Pacers against the Grizzlies. And the Raptors against the Hawks. I think those two teams seem like they play a lot, right? It seems like they play a ton. Chris, what do you think of these games?
Yeah, it certainly feels like they play a lot. But I'm going to go with the over between the Memphis Grizzlies and Indiana Pacers. I think that game just turns into a track meet. The Indiana Pacers usually find themselves in high-scoring games as it is. And I just think this is going to be another one. I know didn't hit the over yesterday, but I think they can today on the back-to-back against the Grizzlies. So I'll take the over there. And I'll take the over between the Celtics and the Hornets. The Hornets allowing 121 points or more in 5 of their last 6 games. Now they're going up against the Celtics, who lead the NBA in adjusted offensive efficiency. I think the Celtics could score into the 130s here, and it doesn't leave a whole lot of wood for Charlotte to have to chop to get us over that total. So give me the over 232 in that one.
Man, it's not Joe. It's not Jovan in the chat. It's some idiot. It is. Some moron in there. Jay, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, you good. I ain't gonna lie. This is a tough NBA card on this Saturday. I want to wait to see what's going on with Giannis before I grab the Bucks.
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah.
I grab the points with the Bucks. I fade Miami every opportunity I get. It hasn't been as profitable recently as it was earlier in the season, but I'm still so up on it. I think we do it again here. Miami, the worst home cover team in all of the NBA. And I think that Drew Holiday and those guys, I would not be surprised if even without Giannis, they went in there and beat Miami. And then I'll grab the points with the Pacers in that one. I know they're on a back-to-back. I know Memphis has looked red hot here recently, but Memphis is still terrible out on the road in the totality of the season. I know Pacers are also pretty banged up, as no Halliburton and Miles Turner might not play tonight. He didn't play last night, but the Pacers still kept it competitive last night with the Hawks. And before that game, they had won like 6 or 7 straight home games. I think Memphis does win this game, but I think it's a 4 to 5 point win for the Grizzlies, and the Pacers get themselves a cover. So Bucks and Pacers for me in this early slot.
Jovan?
Yeah, I look towards the Bucks and Heat under. No Giannis, so that's a big chunk of scoring that's going to be missing from them. they're a defensive team anyway. So I think they could hold down what the Heat are doing, just like they did last game. Likewise, the Heat should be able to hold down this Milwaukee team without Giannis. So it all adds up to another under in my book.
Alninos.
I'll agree with the Pacers, kind of like the points there. Tough game, but I do think they're getting quite a few points at home. Could keep that one within single digits. And I'm going to go with the Heat, though. I think without Giannis, the Bucks here just going to be in trouble. And the Heat started their season off rough, but they have been playing much better lately. So I think this is a good spot for them at home against the Bucks without their best player.
Rod.
For me, in this one, I agree with Javon. I like the under here between the Bucks and the Heat. This looks like a first to 100 type game wins this one. Went under in the first meeting a couple days ago, and I think it does again. Bucks 21-7 in the last 28 on the road to the under, and the Heat 7-2 following an ATS win to the under as well. Definitely love the under in that one. And I got to agree. Give me the Pacers plus the points against the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are teams. Grizzlies on the road covering 10 points. Not usually. Usually they're a 3-4 point team that covers. So give me the Pacers plus the points in that one. They're just playing the better ball lately. So give me the Pacers plus the points there.
I like the Grizzlies against the Pacers. I think it's sucker line all the way, and I think that the books are just begging you to take the Pacers. Why wouldn't we take all these points with the Pacers at home? Because the Grizzlies are going to bust them up. That's why you wouldn't take it, and it's because they always do. Because the Grizz have beaten the Eastern Conference 5 times in a row. They busted them up every time they play them. This Grizzlies team is playing on a different level. I like the Pacers as much as the next guy, and most people know I love kind of those middle market teams. I like those kind of middle market teams, and those are generally my wheelhouse. But I think that in this case, the Grizz are also kind of a middle market team. And the thing about the Grizzlies, so like 2 years ago, the Grizzlies were always like hovered around 500. Once they got above 500, they'd lose. They get below 500, they'd win. They'd always end up right around 500. And last year, they were kind of doing the same thing. Ja Morant got injured, and then they started playing defense. And since that time, when Ja Morant was injured last year, this Grizzlies team has taken their game to a whole nother level. They're going to bust the Pacers up. I like the Pacers. I think they're headed in the right direction. I think all those things. I think this line tells you everything you need to know. They're begging you to take the Pacers. I also think the Heat win the game and the Bucks cover the spread in that one. We got the Ruffalo busted up my parlays versus the Cavaliers. Got the Jazz versus the Sixers. Portland versus Dallas. Ruffalo, you got a chance to get revenge here with your T-Wolves. Tell us to all suck it. Tell us to stick it. Take those Timberwolves one more time and take it to us, because double laugh tracked you yesterday on the pick. And, it didn't come back to bite us in the ass like it has so many times over the years. But you got a chance here. Donovan Mitchell, I like a lot of the over props in this one. Donovan Mitchell over 80 points. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to go near that one. I think I learned my lesson yesterday, but I will go towards the over between the Sixers and the Jazz. Two teams have been really trending towards the over in a lot of their recent games, and I think this is just another one of those high-scoring games. I think we're going to have a lot of fireworks on Sunday. I think the Sixers and Jazz are going to provide some here as well. I think this one could easily be, a game where both teams get into the high 110s, low 120s. So give me the over between the Sixers and the Jazz.
Jay, Chris hating on that Sixer defense, which has been awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Jazz in that one at home. I love taking the Jazz at home. That's where they typically play their better basketball. Philadelphia on the road isn't that's not where they play their best basketball. Philadelphia is a better home team than they are on the road. And Philadelphia, man, they just played 4 of their last 5 on their home floor. So I don't necessarily love the spot for them out on the road now in that elevation. And they haven't really played anybody recently. They got hammered by OKC in their last one and then beat up on Detroit the 2 games before that and played Chicago. Their competition here recently just hasn't been great. And I think they kind of go into Utah. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if Utah won that game outright. So Utah plus the points for me in that one. And then the Blazers have just been straight ass, man. They've lost 5 straight games, maybe more than that. But my Mavs are still the worst cover team in all of the NBA, man. And this is their 4th straight road game. I feel like the only way we can look in this one is a bounce back spot for the Portland Trail Blazers. They also got hammered twice by this Mavericks team earlier in the season. Both games were in Dallas. If Portland doesn't come to show up tonight, then I don't know.
So Jay, in this game, right? This is the first game of a back-to-back. These exact teams play tomorrow. Luka has not played in game 2 of these back-to-backs all season long. So wouldn't this be the Mavs' best chance to get one? You know,
I think so, but at the same time, I think I would like Portland. I think Portland is in a better position to win both. Dallas on the road just isn't.
I gave you an out there. All right, forget it. Yeah. Portland sucks. I mean, they suck. They're terrible, man. I love Lillard. I'm one of my favorite players, but man, they suck. They should have never traded McCollum. Jovan, I mean, who the hell trades McCollum? What are you doing, man? It's like, what are you thinking? It's like, what are you going to get in return for him that's going to be as good as him? It's like, this is. We want to lose. It's like that's what that says. It's like they're on the phone with the Pelicans. Any chance we can get McCollum back? The guy's like straight to voicemail them.
What's your guys' refund policy? I have the receipt.
It's like, Jovan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on the Timberwolves in this one. You know, the winners of 5 of their last 6. Something's clicking, even though the teams that they have been playing are, you know, mostly bottom feeders. They did beat the Nuggets and the Clippers. You know, if you want to call the Clippers a good team, you know. But yeah, I mean, they're facing the Cleveland team. You know, their 5th road game on this extended road trip, and I believe it's the last game on this road trip. So they're just waiting to go home. They've alternated wins and losses in their last 4 games. Next up, they're due for a loss if that trend continues. So yeah, I'm on Minnesota, you know, and they're getting 5. So you know, might take them on the money line also.
McCollum, Nance Jr., and Tony Snell for Josh Hart, Satoransky, Alexander Walker, Lozada, 2022 first-round pick protected.
A fleece.
Yeah, well, I wonder what they got with that pick. I don't even know. And 2 future second-round picks. That's basically G League.
A fleece.
I'd rather have McCollum. Al Ninos, how about you? What do you got?
Yeah, I agree about all that, McCollum. He was a perfect fit next to Damian Lillard. You know, I think a much better fit than he is on the Pelicans.
Too good.
But not the worst fit for the Pelicans either. I mean, but definitely that 1-2 punch with Lillard was something.
Perfect fit for the Pelicans too.
Pelicans.
Yeah, he's a pretty good fit there too. But I liked him better playing alongside.
You don't see them
Lillard,
shopping him.
No, he's good to have, especially with Zion. When Zion's on the court, he's good to have next to that. But anyway, back to these games here. I like. I kind of like the Sixers. I think it's a good spot here with the rest advantage. Not the best spot, I guess. 5. If it gets to 6, I don't like it as much. It's 7. I would definitely not be touching it. That's probably my favorite one there. Unless I'm missing some. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm sticking with.
I mean, you're talking about McCollum like he's a role player or something. 21.2 points per game.
No, he's a great player. I don't think he's the point guard that Damian Lillard is, though. Lillard's a much better point guard. I think he's
6 assists per game.
I think McCollum's a better shooting guard.
6 assists and a steal.
But it kind of works with Zion there, so he's a good shooter to have around Zion as well. So
he's one of the best players in the league.
He's a great. He's
a top 50 player in the league.
Oh, definitely top 50 for sure. Yes. But I mean, that's a pretty long list.
He's arguably the second best player on the team, him or Ingram.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So why are you dissing him? So
I just think Lillard's a better point guard.
Well, it's not a competition between the two of them. They were living happily together.
Well, no, I mean, he's playing point guard for the.
No, he's not.
Isn't he?
No.
I thought he's the point guard now.
Nope. He's leading the team in points per game, leading the team in assists per game. That's what he's doing. Rod, slap some sense into El Niños over here.
For me, this time slot,
I was talking shit about him.
I like the under in this Dallas and Portland game. You look at Dallas, their last 3 games averaging about 109.7 points a game, where Portland's averaging 108 points a game. Then you look at Dallas on the road, 7-2 to the under in their last 9 road games, while Portland 8-2 to the under in their last 10 games. This total is way too high. Take the under, Dallas, Portland. The only one I like out of those 3.
I like I saw it this morning. Points, rebounds, and assists. Luka over 55.5. Over 55.5. Oh, they lowered it to 52.5, and it's now minus 125 though. But I still like it anyway. I don't care. I like the over 52.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Luka. I think even just points and I think he could do it in 2 out of the 3. Probably points and rebounds. I think he's over that. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and listen to El Niño's badmouth CJ McCollum like he's just some afterthought.
You don't have Lillard ranked over him?
It's not a competition. It was just a statement the statement is that they were a better team with him. They're a better team with them.
Any team.
They could, and if you're going to trade him, you could have gotten better than that.
Yeah,
you could have gotten way more than that. You could have gotten way more than that for him.
I agreed with that.
How many teams giving up whatever? The Mavs usually, they're horrible traders. You could have probably fleeced them.
I would have liked to got fleeced for McCollum.
Yeah, exactly. But they would have gotten. But the Mavs are horrible traders. Horrid. They could have gotten half their roster if you wanted it. It's like and future picks. It's like we'll take half your roster from count. You know what? We'll throw in a few future first round picks and just sweeten the pot. Well, we were going to take the other deal. All right. Is there any hockey today? Chris, do you like any of these hockey games?
There's a few I like, but
just how about one?
I get the laugh track ready. I'm gonna take Toronto against the Boston Bruins. Yeah, see, there you go. No, that was not the first one. The first one was right.
Well, it's for those of us that have the Bruins.
And Toronto's won the last 4 meetings. Boston finally took their first regulation loss at home. I think Toronto bounces back.
I'll state the obvious. You're a stupid, stupid man.
You told me, you know what? You've told me that a lot lately, so I'm used to it at this point.
This could be your worst pick. Bruins 12-0 as favorites following a loss. Straight up.
12-1 after tonight.
He's not going over 52. Luka? Yes, he is. Who are they playing? The Blazers? And he's got tomorrow off? I would say he is. Jay, what do you think? Over 52 and a half?
I mean, I think over Luka every game is the play.
Well,
He's the whole team.
It hits at a 90% clip.
Yeah.
So it's hitting at that number at 52. It hits at a 90% clip, and he's playing against the Blazers.
Yeah.
Be my guest. Bet against it all day. What do you think? Any hockey games you like?
Chris, you only taking the Maple Leafs? That's it?
We're only going one pick because we don't like hockey. We're phasing it out.
I'm just 3 quick. Stars, Bruins,
One.
Kraken.
1 3-team bird cage. It's like
it's like he just puts them all together in like one word, like Stars Kraken. Like
Jovan wants you to hit the cheer button because I've limited it to 1 game each.
Jovan doesn't even get his full like 10 seconds to deny it.
El Niños, any of these
I don't know
hockey
if you ever watched that show, Game of Zones, but yeah, you remember this team, the Sun Kings. I think that's something Jay was trying to pull there. Tough one, but I'll probably just picking one's the tough part, I guess. Okay, I'll go with the Capitals minus the 1.
Should be easier.
No, because I didn't know which one to pick out of the bunch.
Just take the Canucks on the puck line. How freaking hard is this? Rod, go ahead.
For me, out of this, the big pile of NHL cards, we got a lot. I'm going to go quickly. I'm going to go Stars, Kraken, Oilers.
One.
Stars, Kraken, Oilers.
The Kraken Stars.
Stars, Kraken, Oilers.
Bruins, Stars, Kraken.
I think all the values on the Blackhawks, but like I said, I'm going Canucks puck line is my 1 pick against. Go to college hoops. Loaded card. We'll just say the big names, but we'll cover slots. We'll go from 12 to 1. Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina State, Miami, Oklahoma, West Virginia, DePaul, Seton Hall, Ole Miss, Georgia, Boston U Army, Indiana, Wisconsin. That's it. Up to 1 o'clock, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Kentucky here. I know they've been awful, for much of this season, but if they can't get up for this game against Tennessee, you might as well pack it in and start looking forward to the end of the season, because
I got news for you. Then they should pack it in because this is
a
horrible spot.
No, I
horrible
understand.
Spot.
I understand it is completely, but I just think that this Kentucky team, just for me, is on paper too talented to get blown out once again. But again, could definitely happen. But I don't know. I just feel like leaving 11.5 on the table with Kentucky in a spot like this. Yeah, I'd feel. Did
you see the Alabama game?
Oh, 100% I did. They looked terrible in that game, but I don't know. Is Sheboy still playing? I mean, unless the only way I could back the other side is if certain guys aren't playing, like Sheboy or Severe Wheeler. See Jacob Toppin questionable, Cason Wallace questionable.
This is the man that brought you that Minnesota Timberwolves pick.
Oh
yesterday.
my god!
And the Maple Leafs 2 days ago. He's on the eater. He just took the Leafs today.
Fine. I'll just skip out of that. I'm just gonna take Oklahoma to lay the 2.5 at home. West Virginia's been awful. They can't stop anybody right now. So give me Oklahoma.
Jay, 1 pick. Which one you like?
Let me go 2.
No, 1 per segment.
All right,
let's go too long, man. Like,
all right,
too long. I got stuff to do.
We got to go Georgia then here in this one. Ole Miss is terrible. I don't understand how they're favored here. Georgia been playing better basketball. We look at common opponents. Even Georgia's beating them. Ole Miss has lost to them. I know it's in Ole Miss, but I would take Georgia plus the points and sprinkle some on the money line.
Jovan?
Can't touch that Kentucky game. They just been playing too bad. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Miami. I just think that anything over a basket, I wanna have the points in my pocket in that game. I think it's gonna be a 2-point game, no matter how you slice it at the very at the very least. So give me on the Hurricanes.
Jim Larinaga on the road. El Niños.
I will lay the points with Seton Hall here.
Against DePaul. Any reason? The whole idea is like you kind of give a pick and then you give your reason. That's why we're doing one.
Well, I know the DePaul's been playing them tough. Like,
we're not circling the card. It's not doing the.
I thought we're trying to skip through this fast.
No, we're not trying to skip through it fast. We're trying to make it one game, and deliver it as opposed to going well. Kind of like NC State and Oklahoma. Instead of doing that, just one pick and kind of just throw people like some information as to why you're making
DePaul's covered in the last 3 meetings, but I think Seton Hall is that much better this year, and I think they covered the spread. Their defense is much better than DePaul. So I think on that, I think they cover a short 4.5 number. I think they cover that number.
Rod?
And for me, I like Robert Morris here, plus the points at Detroit Mercy. Look at Detroit Mercy, 2-5 ATS in their last 7 games, 1-4 ATS on Saturday as well. The Colonials on the road, they're playing pretty good. 6-2 against the number this season, 6-1-1 ATS their last 8 road games. Love Robert Morris here plus the points, and that one, the one I like in this test.
Taking Wisconsin against Indiana. I think Wall's going to play in this game, and I think it's going to be good enough. Indiana's been, in case you haven't noticed, they've been sucking some major ass. 0-7 against the number in their last 7 games. They have looked absolutely terrible. I can't really say too much of this on my videos because those Hoosier fans are freaking. You want to talk about the jerk festival, but it's like the reality of it is like I've been greasing them all season. Oh, this team's going to be in the Sweet 16. Not if they're playing like this, they're not. I'll tell you that much. They've been absolutely terrible. In Wisconsin, they're the type of team when you count them out, man, count them in because that's when they play their best. This Wisconsin team never gets the respect. I don't care where they're playing this game. I'm taking Wisconsin, and I don't care if it's 2 teams that have the same color uniforms. We're going to skip that whole theory on this one too. Hoosier fans, they act like they still went undefeated last year or something. It's like that. It didn't happen. Bandy's playing Arkansas. Boy, the Hogs you got to feel sorry for this team. I had them in my Final Four at the beginning of the season. It's tough without the 2 guys that have been out. And Louisville, North Carolina, TCU, Kansas State, Creighton, Providence, St. Bonnie's, Richmond, Pitt, Georgia Tech, Missouri, Florida. We'll go up to 3:30, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Missouri plus the points against Florida. I think Missouri, granted a lot of their successes come at home this season, but I think they played well enough to earn the respect of taking 5.5 here against what I feel is an overhyped Florida team. It's a lot of focus on Colin Castleton, and they do have some solid pieces like Kyle Lofton and Trey Bonham, but I think Missouri. I think this game's just a lot closer than that 5.5 would indicate. I think it's a 2 or 3 point win for Florida at the absolute most. I'm taking Missouri plus the points.
Missouri's like a team I want to like, but I can't like them because they don't play any defense at all. It's like they just refuse to play defense. It's kind of like the way the Kings, like the last 10 years of watching the Sacramento Kings. It's like defensive. We're not. No way. Not doing it. Jay, what do you think of this slot? Which one you like?
I'm going with Tulane here in this slot against UCF. It's going to be a hell of a game in that one. Both teams playing really good basketball right now, but we're in New Orleans in this one. And I think Tulane is slightly the better team. We're only laying a bucket. So I think this one goes the way of the Green Wave. They just been playing some really solid basketball on their 4th straight. I've been cashing tickets on Green Wave. I think they get themselves a home win here in this one against UCF.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Arkansas. They played Alabama earlier this week. It didn't fare out so well for them. And they lost by 15, 16 points. But I think, it could go on the road and get a comfortable win out of Vandy. I just don't like this Vandy team. They 2-7 against the spread at home. I mean that's mostly as our favorites probably, but still, I think that the Razorbacks should be able to get at least a 6 to 7 point victory out of this one at the very least.
Al Ninos.
I like Providence a lot here with the points, especially. Wouldn't be shocked if they won it outright. They have much better defense, and Creighton blew them out in the last meeting, but Providence covered the last 5 meetings before that, including outright win as a 10-point dog. So yeah, give me Providence.
Only one person on Twitter I follow that doesn't follow me back, and that's Ed Cooley, but we haven't given up yet. See if we can get him to follow me back. I'm trying. It's not for lack of effort. That's for damn sure. Rod?
For me, these ones I like Louisville plus the points against North Carolina. You look Armando Bacot last time out injured his foot, was out early in that Virginia game, and he's definitely questionable for this one. And with him out again, that's tough for North Carolina to be covering that giant number. And then, as they don't cover so well on the road either, 1-6-1 ATS their last 8 on the road, and Louisville 5-0-1 ATS their last 6 versus teams with winning records. So I'm gonna go with Louisville plus the points in that one.
Taking Kansas State against TCU. I had TCU in that championship game on the money line was the bet that I made, and then Jay and I bet them again on the money line at halftime of the game. So I'm kind of a little salty at them. And so you got the William Lee's thing, you got the 65-7 loss in the championship, then the halftime bet. So it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna bet the hell out of it against them. I'm just gonna take Kansas State, who's kind of underrated, in the whole thing. Too, Kansas State's playing really, really well. They never get the notoriety because they're kind of like the stepchild, Kansas State. It's kind of like they're the Oakland A's of this relationship. I'm gonna take Kansas State. I would have taken Providence, but Ninos jumped me on it. Alabama against LSU, 15.5 points. Got Virginia against Florida State. Florida State's playing a little bit better. SMU against Cincinnati. SMU playing a little bit better. Kansas against Iowa State. That's 2 teams that made it deep into the tournament last year. Oregon State, Arizona State. Got Duke, Clemson. We'll go there to 5:00 Eastern time. Chris?
One that stands out to me is Arizona State against Oregon State. Oregon State, they're starting to just sort of middle out in conference play. Can't get too high or too low with this team. But Arizona State, this is the most impressed I've been with Arizona State in some time. You're starting to see Bobby Hurley really get the most out of the players that he's got. He's had talented teams before, but Arizona State's always seemed to just sort of fall flat the last couple of years. But this year they're playing solid defense. They're able to put points up when they have to. And I think they go into Corvallis and bust up the Beavers here. I think Sun Devils got a double-digit win in this one, so I'll lay the points with Arizona State.
As we always say on the show, if Ruffalo's impressed, look out. This is a man that eats cheese from a jar. Jay?
That was one time. You're not supposed to tell anybody about that.
You've only eaten cheese from a jar one time? I seriously doubt that, man.
This week.
Seriously doubt it. What's that orange stuff inside the microwave? Jay?
I'm continuing to fade SMU, man. They're straight ass. They've gotten their teeth kicked in 3 straight games. I will say they played some pretty tough competition in Tulane, UCF, and Houston in their last 3 games, but all 3 of them kicked them in their teeth. And I think Cincinnati comes in there and does the exact same thing. they're just a better team. We've seen Cincinnati beat some of the teams that's kicked SMU in the teeth. I see no reason why Cincinnati can't do the same. This SMU team is straight ass. Straight ass.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with UAB. Who would ever thought that the Blazers will lose 3 straight games in conference play? They need a win bad, and I think they get it. And I think they get it in a convincing fashion against this Louisiana Tech team. I'm not really impressed with them, but sometimes they put up a fight, and other times they don't. I don't think they do on this one. I think in the second half, the Blazers pull away.
Al?
I like Duke in this one. Pick him on the road might be a little scary, but just think they're the better team, so I'll take that little price and go with Duke.
I'm on the other side of that one. Rod?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the other side of that one. I love Clemson in the spot. 9-0 at home, playing their best ball at home, and Duke on the road has been awful. 0-4 ATS their last 4 road games. They're 0-4 ATS the last 4 road games versus a team with a winning home record. I love Clemson in this one. Better free throw shooting team as well. This is what it probably comes down to. Who makes those free throws at the end? I'll take Clemson in this one.
I like Iowa State against Kansas. I think it's way too many points. This Iowa State team is built to last, man. They have a good system going. They got that coach from UNLV last year, and he took them all the way to the Sweet 16 with basically nothing. Then they lost. I think their top 3 players all transferred to Texas, and I'm sure they're kicking themselves in the head after the Texas coach got fired, which I'm going to guess that Texas transfer portal is probably, I bet you there's 100 coaches like sitting there waiting at the door to grab those Texas players. But I just think that they have a good system there. I think Kansas could win this game at home at Fog Allen. Super tough building. But I just think it's a lot of points to be laying. And it's like a lot of times when you see this many points, it's like, oh, they're begging you to take Iowa State. But it's Kansas at home, so you're always paying a premium on that. So I think it kind of levels itself out. I think this is like a 2-3 point game at the most. This could be a 1 point game. I think Iowa State could win outright, too. I'm not putting it past them. They're a good team. They get no love. Baylor against Oklahoma State. Washington, Cal, Oregon versus Arizona. South Carolina, Texas A&M. I don't know why we would even mention that. Notre Dame, Syracuse. Texas Tech. Washington State, Stanford. USC, Colorado. Boston College, Wake. Go to 8 o'clock. Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Syracuse laying the points here. I'm just not a fan of Notre Dame on the road. There's been a couple spots where Notre Dame were actually laying points on the road and lost outright. And last time we saw them as a decent-sized underdog, they were 12-point dogs against North Carolina. Lost that game outright, right by I think 17 points. So I think Syracuse. Notre Dame is familiar with his own defense, but I'm not sure it's going to matter here. Syracuse is playing far better at home. I like Syracuse to win this one by 10+. I'll take the orange.
Jake.
I'm going to go to the battle in Texas in this one. I'm going to grab the points with Texas Tech. They have been letting me down here recently, man. They lost back-to-back home games after winning like 30 straight or something crazy. Then they've lost 4 straight, but I think here against Texas, man, I think they do keep this one competitive. Texas, man, there's a lot going on down there. No head coach now. They fired the last guy due to some, off the court issues. And I think in this one, it could probably catch up with them. I think Texas Tech desperately needs a win, and I think they could possibly even go into Texas and shock them. I'll grab the points there with Texas Tech.
Jovan?
I'm going to bypass that game because I was going to talk about the same game. I'm going to roll with UCLA. I wanted to take it as a premium, but I just couldn't. But I just think it's a spot where UCLA can flex their muscles defensively and extend their lead. That way, turn defense into offense. and pull away in the second half, make this one of like a 15 to 18 point victory.
I think that backcourt of UCLA is ridiculous. El Niños.
Yeah, I'm gonna go UCLA, but not crazy about the double digits. So I'll just take the first half again. 6.5. It's pretty. It's not too small of a number either. But I think I'm just better, more comfortable on the first half than the full game with UCLA.
Rod.
And for me in this time slot, I like Air Force here plus the points against Fresno State. You look at Air Force playing pretty good. 7-0 ATS following a straight up win. 4-0 ATS their last 4 on the road. Well, Fresno at home has definitely not played so good. 3-10 ATS their last 13 at home. 1-8 in their last 9 home games versus a team with a losing road record. And the underdog 14-4 ATS the last 18 meetings between these two. Gonna be a defensive battle in this one. Without the points in my pocket, take Air Force plus the points or Fresno in that one.
I'll take Baylor against Oklahoma State. I just think this Baylor team is too good to be losing this many games, and maybe I'm a sucker or whatever. I don't care. This is a team that won a national championship. They should have won 2 the year that the tournament was canceled. They were going to win it, and this team's so deep and loaded with talent. It's just a matter of getting the right pieces out there on the floor. They could easily go on a run and win the whole thing again this year. We saw them, we've seen them up against good teams and beat a lot of good teams. So I think this one against this Oklahoma State team, I have to give Oklahoma State some credit because they certainly have played everybody, and they played UConn at UConn. It's like they haven't backed down from anyone. But this Baylor team, those 3 consecutive losses, including 2 consecutive home losses, TCU and Kansas State, losing both those games. But, Baylor also beat Gonzaga. They also, that Marquette game on the road. It's like, yikes. Anyways, I'm taking Baylor here. Go to our next time slot, our final time slot of the show and of the day, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Auburn versus Mississippi State, San Diego State, New Mexico. Then we've got USC, Utah, San Francisco, St. Mary's, and Gonzaga, Portland. Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Gonzaga here. I know they've been in some close calls as of late, but those games have been on the road for the most part. At home is where Gonzaga tends to do their best work. They tend to put teams away, and Portland, they've had success against the spread in this matchup. They've covered a bunch of the recent meetings, but a lot of those they were getting 30, 32 points, and they were getting 32 and a half last year and lost by 32. So I think the line a little bit more reasonable this time around. The way that Gonzaga is scoring at home this season, I think Portland's just gonna have a hard time keeping up, especially with how they've been struggling to keep points off the board. So I'm gonna go with Gonzaga in that one. I think Gonzaga wins by 20 plus.
Yeah, real down year for Gonzaga. Losses to Baylor, Purdue, and Texas. Texas, yeah. Oh, they stink this year. They beat Alabama, right? Anyways, Jay, what do you got?
For me in this one, I'm St. Mary's versus San Fran is where I'm going. San Fran has been letting me down here recently, man, but they're back at home in this one after losing to Portland on the road. And I think they keep this one competitive, man. I know St. Mary's has been dominant here recently, man, and St. Mary's has even dominated some of the teams San Fran has lost to. But at home here in this one, man, I know they've lost 4 of their last 5, but I think San Fran puts their best foot forward tonight, and I think they cover that line against St. Mary's.
San Fran, of course, lost their coach from last year's team. But the thing is Chris, did you see this? That St. Mary's is 9th in that KenPom rankings. It's like, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy. He's got him ahead of like a lot of the big boys.
Yeah.
They played a tough schedule. Jovan, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on Wyoming. Now I know they got a bad record, 5-11, but they've been competitive. Keeping things close at home at least. 5-point loss to San Diego State. 1-point loss to New Mexico. So I think they could do the same thing to Boise State, keep this within the number, and I'm threatening for a win.
Save everyone a trip to Instagram. That's my dog of the day. Al Ninos.
I'm gonna go with USC here and lay the points with them. Utah's been good this season, but I think a couple injuries, illnesses that might cost them in this one. So I think
What are the illnesses? They make you sick? Utah?
Not me myself, although maybe if I paid, maybe they might in this one, but I think it's a good spot for the Trojans at home here.
Rod?
Yeah, I agree. Take USC in this one. The Trojans at home here playing pretty good. You look, Trojans 5-0 ATS the last 5 versus a team with a winning record, and the Utes on the road definitely have not been good. 0-5 ATS their last 5 versus a team with a winning straight up record. 2-9 ATS following an ATS loss. So I think they continue to lose. Take USC easily in that one over Utah.
I like Grand Canyon against Cal Baptist. Grand Canyon, like since they started conference play, has been playing really, really well. They scheduled up out of conference this year, so their overall record is not that good. But when the record against the number really not that good. But since they got into conference play, they've been playing really well. They just played Cal Baptist like last week. They beat the crap out of them, and it's like they don't. And since then, Grand Canyon's played even better. I'm taking Grand Canyon. I had them the other night against Texas Arlington as one of my premiums, and I think I even gave it out on one of the shows too, on the premium pick show or something. They were favored by 11. They won by 111. I mean, if the game would have been 10 more minutes longer, they would have scored 200 points. Something like that. Not as good as the Luka over prop. Anyway, speaking of props, parlay time. Chris, who you got?
For my parlay today, I'm gonna go
it's
with
the Timberwolves, man. We're gonna have to mute you.
No. I've learned my lesson. Mute. Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm gonna go with Missouri plus the points. I'm gonna go with Towson Lane the points, and I'm gonna go with New Mexico plus the points.
Jake.
We're going cross sport today. We're going one in each. We're going let's take the Bucks. Let's get the best line. Take it right before tip off. That line's gonna grow. We're gonna take the Bucks. We're gonna take the Bruins against the Maple Floods. And we're gonna take the Jags as the last leg. And in college hoops, we're gonna go take Cincinnati over SMU.
Jovan.
Minnesota Timberwolves. You can either take it plus the 5 or
They're gonna
money
bust
line.
up your parlay, man.
Hey, I'm rolling with them.
They're gonna bust it up.
The Bucks Heat under. You try to stretch it out to a 14, UCLA, Wyoming, 5-teamer, UAB.
El Ninos.
I gotta lay with the Heat. I'm gonna take Providence with the points and Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown.
Rod.
For me, we're going to go 2 in college hoops, 2 in the NBA. We're going to go Clemson plus the points, Louisville plus the points, and we're going to go the under in Dallas and Portland, and the under in the Bucks and the Heat.
I'll go Syracuse, Grand Canyon, Jaguars money line, over in the Jaguars Chargers game, and the under in the Niners Seahawks 5-teamer. Throw in the Boston Bruins. Let's make it 6.
I knew it.
Make it a winning day, everyone. See you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tonight. Anyways, halftime.
3:30. Are we doing both or are we doing just one?
We can do both.
I'm here. So.
I got no life. I got nothing going on.
I'm here too.
This is all I do. It's pretty much all I do, man. So I'm around. It's like I do this and save my pick my croutons out of my salad. That's pretty much the day. That's all I got to look forward to.